Welcome back to the Live to Grind podcast show. I'm Brendan C. Adams, and today we got Herb Gonzalez. Some call him Gonzi. Some call him at the beginning, I remember saying to Greg Roulette, my co-host, I'm like, Greg, can you find me a D-Rock for me? Gary Vee always calls this guy D-Rock. Well, what was it? It was a message to your mentor, Chris.
Chris Corzetta, yep.
Yeah, Chris. And then he said, this guy, he could be potential. And you hadn't actually done video at that point.
Yeah, no, Chris was like, well, he does photo, but I'm sure he'll be willing to learn. And then before he wrote you back, he texted me. He's like, hey, do you have any interest in video? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll try it. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because, and I love the fact that you even said one time, like, you may not know how to do something, but you'll figure out how to do it. And you did.
Have to, with anything in life.
And I put you on a test. I'm like, okay, we're doing a premiere, and here, I want to see what you got. And you came, and like, I was really blown away because your first video that you had put out there, and at that time, I don't think I really knew that was your first video.
Yeah.
It was so highly produced. Like, it was cool. I mean, there could be tweaks, but like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm like, dude, this guy's got the
awesome.
eye for it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
But so before we even got into this, because I want to hear, and some of the stuff, you haven't told me everything. I mean, we've done quite a few weekends where we've done shoots and stuff and experienced some interesting times on set. But talk about before you picked up a camera. Like, what did you do? Where did you grow up, and how did it lead to even getting into photography?
Oh, man, I don't know how. Well, okay, yeah. I guess from the very beginning, I grew up in Melbourne Beach, Florida, which is an hour from here in Orlando.
Yeah.
Born and raised there. My parents are from Guatemala, so I was the first generation born here.
You hablas español? Sí.
Yeah.
He never says it on set. I want him to
yes.
So you speak Spanish fluently.
Yeah,
we're not doing this show in Spanish.
We can do the whole thing in Spanish. But yeah, I grew up in Melbourne Beach. Soccer is pretty big over there. A lot of people do it. So, and my parents, they love soccer. That was my life. Like, that was my thing. I was really good at soccer. My parents were convinced that I was going to be professional. I was at the level of it. Won a couple state championships. That was a different Herb.
How old were you at that time?
Oh man, I started playing when I was like 6.
Wow.
And I played up until I was 13, until I destroyed my knee.
How'd you do that?
So another thing that my dad loved was motocross. So I did soccer and motocross growing up. And I turned it really weird playing soccer. And then motocross, I had an accident and it just completely destroyed it.
So you completely fucked your knee up.
Yeah. So I had to have it reconstructed. It was a big scar.
When that happened, was it kind of sad, the fact that you couldn't play sports again?
I didn't think of it like that.
What did you think of it?
I was like, I'll be okay in like 2 weeks, you know? And I kind of was like, this is an injury I had when I was 13, never had surgery. I went to the doctor and everything and, you know, talked to them about surgery and they're like, oh, you're too young, you're still growing. So all this stuff. So I grew up like not needing the surgery. But as I was growing up after the injuries and everything, I started like focusing more on music, and that's where my life kind of like changed. So it was all about soccer, then it became all about music. I just had a bunch of friends, and we just formed a band. I was the vocalist of the band.
Did you have any kind of music background? Did you like to sing, or what was it?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that or even thought about that. How did I get into music? I think it was just a bunch of friends that we all listened to music. One had a guitar. We're like, let's see if we can get a microphone or something, and maybe we'll get the other friend to buy a bass or something. Because I remember like the first couple bands that were like, I call them bands. They really weren't anything. It was just a bunch of friends jamming. We never had a drummer. You know, it was just me on vocals, just singing, screaming, whatever noises I could make with my voice. My best friend playing guitar. We had another friend playing guitar. We didn't have a bassist for a while, and never any drummer. Yeah. Not until I was like 16 or 17 did we get a drummer, and we actually like started playing shows and stuff.
Man, now that I think of this, I think I'm gonna have to have you play later.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
With the guitar, I don't want to play.
Yeah, we could do that.
So you had a band and you did that music. So did you think one day you wanted to become a star in the music industry, or what was kind of your vision?
Well, from there, the soccer dream, even to this day, I still feel like, oh, I can go back and do it. There's no chance.
Yeah.
But when I started transitioning into music, it wasn't so much becoming the soccer star, it was becoming like the famous vocalist. Yeah. You know, going on tour, traveling the country, that was like
a dream.
Yeah, that's still my dream, I think.
You still have the one to do it?
Yeah, I think so. I could still do it.
So tell me about school. Where did you go to college, and what did you do? Your music after high school.
Yeah.
What happened?
So started playing music as a legitimate band by 16. We did a couple Battle of the Bands. Did pretty decently in a lot of them. We never really toured or anything, but it was becoming kind of a thing, you know. And like I mentioned earlier, my parents are from Guatemala. They came here with the American dream. They wanted me to, become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, and have the big house, the dog, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So when they saw me getting serious with music and with a potential, with a, an actual chance of actually making it happen, they're like, that's not secure. They gave me the whole thing oh, you got to follow the American dream. So that leads into what you asked me. My dad's an engineer, so I went to school actually for business administration, just very broad, kind of like a business thing. I've always been an entrepreneur. I always, with the bands and everything, I was always our self-manager. I controlled everything. All the merch that we sold, I took in all the money and kind of arranged all that. So business was my thing. I like that a lot.
It's funny because most people don't look at it that way. Musicians are entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And
it's
the ones that succeed are the ones that are better entrepreneurs, that better sell themselves and their music and their marketing.
People wonder, how do these bad musicians end up on the radio? They have no talent. It doesn't matter. It
comes down to how good they market their shit.
Just like any other product you find in Walmart. How is this piece of junk sitting here, selling hundreds of products? It's because of the way it was marketed, the team that was supporting it, the photo, everything. It's just, everything's a business.
And that's why I say anybody can make it in the industry for being an actor, being a musician. And this is what I hate, because I love music, and I said, if I did have the talent to sing and play, I could make it because I have the mindset to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would not quit until I'd get there. But there's so many people. I think
you still could make it.
Probably
today you could.
It's sad, but you look at these people that do have the talent, but they quit. And what I hate is they go to Nashville and they say, "Well, I'm gonna give it my best shot, and if it doesn't work out, I got Plan B." Well, they're already defeating themselves by having a Plan B.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're getting engineering. So
before I get to that, I want to tell you that I saw a guest speaker at Full Sail University, and
who was it?
Chris Martiago. He's an A&R at Atlantic Records. He just moved to Nashville. But somebody asked him, I forgot the exact context of it, but somebody asked him, this was your plan A. Did you have a backup plan? He's like, yeah, I did. This was my backup plan. This was my plan A through Z. I love it.
That's exactly what it should be.
That's the only way.
No matter what you do, you should have no backup plan. It should be, I'm going to be the best at this. I'm going to make it, or I'm going to die trying.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But back to the story, did music. My parents wanted me to, live the American dream. I went to I was doing business administration, started getting more into engineering because that's what my dad did. Ended up working at the shop that he worked at, and, just worked my way up. I was literally just picking up trash around the shop. From there, I went to the assembly department. I helped put things together. And just little by little, different departments, I kept going up. Ended up in the same department as him. And I just stayed. I got lucky where I just stayed, and I just, I didn't finish my degree because I ended up just getting the job. Yeah. So I just stayed there. That was my American dream.
How long were you doing that?
I was there for about 6 years, full time.
You were full-time engineer for 6 years?
Yeah.
What was that like
about 6 years, yeah. It started off great. I loved it. I mean, I don't regret it at all. I learned so much.
What did you learn from that?
Just how to be an adult, because I ended up being an engineer. Okay, so maybe it wasn't 6 years, maybe it was 5. Between 4 to 6 years.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact, but I ended up being an engineer full time, quit school at 19. So by 19, I was working as an engineer, making engineering money, which as a 19-year-old, you think you're rich, I wasn't a millionaire or anything, but I could support myself.
Yeah.
So from there, it just I feel like I just became an adult because I was managing my own money and working with adults. Nobody was near my age at that shop. Just interacting with, we say it all the time. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. I was only surrounded by engineers and other professionals. So I just developed the same type of,
you rubbed off.
I don't know where it went because look at, like, I have green hair now. No, but I always had that youth. Even back then, like, I was mature and I felt like I fit in with them. But I always had my music background, They all knew that.
So what changed? What was the pivotal point where you decided, I don't want to do this anymore? What was going through your mind?
So I live in Melbourne, and Orlando's about an hour away. And I remember one night I came to Orlando for a show. I came to see my favorite artist at the time, Black Bear. I don't know what it was. Something, the energy in the air, the way his performance, just everything all made sense all at one time. It was like a huge epiphany moment. I'm like, I've missed this so much. Like, why aren't I doing this? I quit soccer. I'm not going to be a professional soccer player. I quit my music dream for what? I'm thinking, I'm like, and this is all thoughts that I was having. I was sitting there in the social right downtown, on this same street, right down the street. Yeah. And I'm thinking all these thoughts all while the show is going on. And it was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm making good money. I have a house, I have a boat, I have like the life. At this time, I think I was like 22. So I had been doing it, about 3 years. And like, I have everything going and it's been pretty good, but it's just, this isn't where I thought I was going to be. Exactly. My heart wasn't completely in it. I loved what I was doing. Honestly, today, like, I still think about the software I used to use. We used to use SolidWorks. Yeah. And I miss using SolidWorks. I really do. So I loved it, but was just unfulfilled. I felt like there was more to me. That wasn't my calling.
You were 100%.
That's it.
It's crazy. Gary Vee was talking about that, how he 99.9%, like, he loved what he did, but he wasn't fully fulfilled. And that's where he left the company and went and did his own thing.
Wow. I listen to him a lot, but I've never heard him say that. That's exactly what I went through.
He worked with his dad's business. He built it from $3 million to $60 million revenue in like 3 years. Right. And then he realized, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. So we switched it.
I never knew why he left. That's for a wine library? Or was
Wine library.
That was his company.
His dad started it. He worked in it. He built it up because he did the wine library, doing it, the regular shows they did every day. And then one day he got up and he left, and him and his brother went and started the marketing, VaynerMedia.
Yeah.
So for you, okay, so you left engineering. What was that next step?
So obviously, it was music. Like, we haven't even gotten to photography yet. Though, while all this is going on, I always had a camera. It was just like a hobby of mine. But the next step after engineering was, all right, okay, I need to go back to school. For me, it's like, that's the way to do it. That's how I'm going to network. That's how I'm going to meet people. That's how I met you. Yeah. And so...
The one good thing out of the college.
So, I looked into Full Sail University, which is a school here that's just all art. They have film programs, music, business, music production, all types of, animation, things like that. So that was a school that everyone in Florida knows about. And it's a school that I always wanted to go to, just growing up in music. So I looked into it and I enrolled, got in and all that. And let's see. So I think it was like June or July. No, hold on. I think it was May when I decided, I need to leave. And this was a few months after I went to that Black Bear show. Just more thinking. Yeah. It wasn't like a direct decision. It's just like, trying things out. And then finally...
you made the commitment.
Yeah. So May, I decided I was going to go. Started in November.
And so how many years were you at Full Sail?
So I'm actually still at it right now. I would have... It's funny. Today, I would have graduated.
Today I
would have graduated.
Like Brandon Adams said... Herb, let's go film.
Exactly.
And you got way behind.
No lie, today was my graduation day. I'm not lying for the podcast or anything. Literally, all my friends graduated today. But yeah, so I've been there for 2 years now. Yeah. 20 months, actually, almost 2 years. And so I'll be graduating actually in November. So it'll be exactly 24 months.
So you still work with some bands, right?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Here and there. Mm-hmm. You do photography for bands, but when was the first day you picked up a camera and you got serious about turning it into a business?
Well, there were 2 times that happened, actually. The first time was 2010. I was still an engineer. I just bought a camera on Black Friday, and I just got pretty decent at it. I played with it, shot with some models and things like that, and I don't know. I guess I didn't take it that seriously, but it kind of was like a business. I never like got an LLC or anything, but I did that for right under a year, made a lot of friends from that. But the more recent time right now, like the continuation of today was, let's see, that was March of 2016. I was still at Full Sail. For some reason, I bought a new camera. Okay, it's coming back to me. I was taking a trip to LA for spring break, because everybody at Full Sail talks about networking and the importance of it. So two of my friends were like, let's go to LA for spring break, see who we can network with out there, meet some people, whatever, play around. I've never been there, so we'll check it out. On the way to the airport, literally grabbed my bag. I was heading out to my car, and I guess I didn't close my backpack all the way. My camera fell and dropped on the ground. Oh. I don't know if I've even told you this, but it fell on the ground, and I'm like, oh my God. So I picked it up. The body's okay. I grabbed the lens, and I just like moved it, and you could hear like rattling in it. A piece of glass came loose. I'm like, oh my God.
Stunned.
Yeah. So the camera was fine, but this was like my main lens. This is like the best lens that I had. So I'm like, I cannot go to LA without this lens. So I'm like, I'll deal without it. It's kind of like, she loves me not. It was the kind of thing I was going for. I was like, should I buy one? Should I not? Should I buy one?
Yeah.
So driving literally to the airport, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. For some reason, something was just like, go to Best Buy. So I went to Best Buy
and then bought one.
I was going to go get the lens. But I'm like, oh my God, look at this camera right here. It was an upgraded version of the one I had. It's like a better one. The one I still use today, it's my backup now, but I'm like, should I get it? And I was with Jamie at the time, actually.
Yeah.
And she's like, just get it. I know you'll end up using it. I'm like, for what? I never even shoot anymore. And obviously, I bought the camera.
The rest is history.
I bought the camera and the new lens. I'm like, oh God. I'm not supposed to spend any money. I'm supposed to save it all so that I can spend it in LA. And I just bought a camera for $1,000,
Yeah.
And then another lens for another couple hundred. So I'm like, oh God. So get to my friend's house because we were picking them up. Battery's not charged for the new camera, so I'm like, what do I do? Oh my God, it was just a mess. So I took the long way to give you that story, but that's pretty much how it started. I got that new camera in LA. I guess just all the art and all the inspiration in the air just inspired me because I was taking some photos that like were beyond my level at the time. So from there, I was like, wow, I'm pretty good at this. I posted on my Instagram. They posted the photos that I took of them on their Instagram, and we're all within like the music community in Orlando and Full Sail, and that kind of circulated a little bit. Local bands saw it. Some of our instructors saw it, and it just kind of started, circulating a bit. Yeah,
your work was showing. Yeah,
that's where it started. Just
and then from there, it just led to one gig to another.
Exactly. Yeah, from there, and like I said, since we were kind of included in that music community. Luckily, I'm getting handed some pretty cool stuff. I shot a lot of cool music festivals. I've worked with like some of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
3 of my favorite artists, I've worked with 2. So
what's the one you got left?
I got The Neighborhood left.
The Neighborhood. The Neighborhood. If you're listening or watching, we need to get this to happen.
And I know that you guys are going to be releasing a new song on Jesse's birthday, which is like 2-3 weeks. So. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. So for anybody, there's a couple of things that we'll go into. First off, for anybody that wants to get into, let's say, the photography business, like how do you even jump in? Like you did all that stuff, but how do you know how to price things? Because a lot of people don't even know where to begin.
I feel like you could ask any professional who's been doing this for years, and they still won't have a solid answer for you. It's just a matter of how much people are willing to pay you, I think, Just
kind of see based off the shot and let them speak first.
Exactly, for sure. Because the way I've been kind of getting to the level I'm at now as far as pricing is because, and I kind of actually got this from Gary Vee, because I gave a price and the person said, yeah. And then I double it and they said, yeah. I double it again and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, why have I been charging so little? I keep doubling it and I keep getting yeses. So you just have to figure out where your the demographic or your audience is paying, Have like a group of people that you want to be targeting. And for me, it's music, and I'm starting to get into a bit of fashion. Understand what they will pay, and from there kind of figure it out where you fit in that
let's talk about the transition, because when we met, you did all photography. So what was it like going from photography to video? Because there's probably some people listening that they do photography. Never did video. So,
everybody.
Like, what is that transition like? The learning curve, or just a different in the angles, everything else?
If there are any photographers listening to this, I was just as scared as you are. Seriously. Because it feels so different. But now that I've been doing it for a couple months, working with like Emmy Award winning crews and just all this great stuff, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It was so intimidating. But I don't know. You just do it. You just get into it.
You just jump in. I mean, you got to learn. So when we filmed at Young Entrepreneur Convention, you were part of the crew, and you got to film with Sean Vela, Emmy Award-winning producer.
Still work with him pretty regularly.
Exactly. So for Ambitious Adventures, Sean did the entire season of Ambitious Adventures, and you were there for the 6th episode. So you got to learn from somebody that's done it for so many years.
Yeah.
And editing. And
I gotta tell you, not the scariest, but the most intimidating part is the editing. Because I've been doing photography since 2010, more on a serious level. Before that, I would just play around with cameras. And mostly photography, but I would make videos too, just for fun, go on summer vacation with friends, we'd make like a little montage. And like, it'd be fun shooting it, but editing was a nightmare. And it's just, because a photo is like one photo, you finish it, you're done.
Yeah.
A video, you can like I'm working on a music video right now that I'm finishing editing. It should be done tomorrow. I have like 300 different shots at least.
And how do you even know where to begin?
I don't know if I do. I just kind of do it.
You put it together.
You just do it,
You do it and as an angle. Let's talk about the first time when I said, let's create our own TV show. And, and I said, let's create the show Live to Grime. And because at that time, you were taking on something that
never thought of.
What do I even think? And we're the producers. We're the one who came up with it. We're like, okay, what do we want to film? And there were so many times we were filming where we didn't use the content because we were still getting the hang of working together.
I know. I like feel bad how many shoots we've wasted.
We've done so, but it wasn't wasted.
Learned.
We learned so much, and now we have episode 1. We got an episode done. It's done. And we have a couple more to edit, but we have one done. Just that process. Like,
it's been
what
great.
Was that like? Because we went back and forth.
Oh, man. My motto is just kind of just do it, like not to steal it from Nike, but you just got to just jump into it. And that's kind of what I did. And, working with Sean, working with you and everybody else, they give me feedback. And like
feedback. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Some of it is like, okay, like, you don't like that because it's personal preference and it's taste. I'm not going to be able to please everyone.
Yeah.
But there are some stuff, a lot of stuff, majority of stuff that you guys have given me. It's like, oh, for sure. Definitely. So, you just do it. And just like anything else, you're just going to get better at it. And for me, I like getting that feedback because then it's like, not only do I have to guess and kind of work on my own, I have these great people with great opinions telling me this is what you should change.
And you're getting better because, I'm looking through and I'm thinking, for one, the music is a pain in the ass because we got to get music. I'm trying to find the right music for us. And then when you make one change, everything moves.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you've never done video, notice the next video that you watch, every cut of a video is to the beat of the song. So imagine changing a song. You finish a whole 2-minute long video. Imagine you have one cut every second. What is that? 120 cuts, more or less, right? Imagine the team coming back saying, we don't like that song. And in my head, I'm like, I love it. It's personal preference, but you're the client. Like, we got to listen to you.
You got to
So we change it. Those cuts don't line up.
It's a nightmare.
And a lot of the things I do too is like, for like big like drops in the song, I'll put like some action or something. Like this video that I'm working on right now, it's a boxing video. And in the beginning of the song, there's like the ding, 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 like a boxing ring. And I line that up with the boxer putting on his gloves and he goes, and it just lined up perfectly. So I just lined that up with the ring.
Yep.
Imagine if I had to change the song. That wouldn't fit there anymore. So it's things like that. That's just like changing the music is just...
And everything's got to be with purpose.
Yeah.
Even when you have the
That's
beat
another
going to a
mine.
movement. Yeah, I love what you say, shoot with purpose. For taking...
Yeah.
And explain what that means for people.
So this is something I definitely learn, and I do photography lessons now too, and this is like the main thing that I push. Shoot with purpose. When you show up to a shoot, Know what you're shooting, why you're shooting, what it's going to be used for. Don't take pictures just to take pictures. Because if you do, that's what it's going to look like. It's just going to look like a photo. When you look at a good photo and you say, wow, that's a great one. Have you ever thought, like, why is it good? Maybe not, but like there's a reason why it's good. It's not good just because. And a lot of the times it's because there was thought put into it. You know, it's not like, not by chance that a photo is good. You know, so it's just, you know, understand where you're shooting. Don't shoot just to shoot.
And it's confidence too.
Have the confidence, you know.
Like when you're taking a photo, you have confidence in the way you take it.
Yeah.
I mean, just an example. So for Herb's gonna be flying out for LA for the Live to Grind event, and if you got your VIP ticket, Herb's gonna actually be taking your photo, and you're gonna see when he does it, it's like it's with purpose. Like I feel like you're thinking so hard into it.
Oh God,
your
I do.
look. Like I feel like when we just did a photo shoot, and like the way you're looking, you're like you have this angle, and it's like
exactly.
It's so cool to watch because I know you're really with purpose.
I really am.
But it's confidence.
So one of the examples that you brought up, like I was moving around a bit. I had an AT&T sign in the back.
That
like
could have been part of it. Yeah, no.
What?
AT&T sign was part of why you're going like that.
No, that's why.
Yeah.
Because it's like I want this shot, but I don't want that there. So that's why I'm moving. You know, everything has to have purpose with anything in life. You know, like. I don't know. Just everything you do in life has to have purpose. And another thing that I say is once you get the shot, move on, you know? Because a lot of times it's like you'll have a product. I was just on a product shoot a couple weeks ago. I had an assistant. She had the photo. Well, I was assisting her.
Yeah.
And I was just doing the lighting and everything, and I was helping her compose her shot. She was taking the shot of the photo, same shot over and over again. And what ended up happening was we started running out of time. Because, you know, she would get the same shot multiple times. In my head, and what I was telling her was, get the shot and move on. That way we can get more things done, you know? How can I relate this to business? You know, work on something, finish it, and then move on. Don't beat
all over the place.
Don't beat it to death.
Stay focused on one thing, get it done, and move forward. Another thing is...
That's tricky too, though, because don't quit too early either.
Don't quit too early, but another thing I think about for editing, when I was getting feedback from everybody, from the team and stuff, everybody had their feedback, and some was really good, but then sometimes you have to just finish it, because some people, if you try to nitpick at everything and please them, you'll never get it done.
That's something that...
You'll never get it done.
A lot of photographers have. They never want to finish a photo because it's not good enough. You just got to release it. You know, with anything social media related, whether you're an artist, photographer, musician, entrepreneur, just post. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to be upset because this is another thing that I think about too with photography. You know, an artist, a musician, for example, they write music, and if they're not in the zone, they're not going to finish the song. They're not going to release it. As a photographer, you have to release it. If you got a client, I took your pictures today. What if I told you, oh, sorry, I wasn't in the zone. I wasn't feeling it. I don't have photos for you.
You have to
just
know what I'm saying? You just have to release it.
You just got to start pushing out the content. You know, just post that picture. No one's going to say, oh my God, I can't believe you have that little piece of dust up there. They're not going to notice stuff like that, you know?
I love this because you think about it. So many people in business or products, they want it to be just perfect, and it never gets out and nobody buys it. And they sit there and they never actually make any money. You just have to put it out there. You have to learn to just accept for what's there. It's like writing a book, right? If you want it to be perfect, you're never going to publish a book. You just got to be like, okay, it's good. Let's get the book out.
That's funny too, because like when we've talked about Arctic, your invention, I asked you like, if you would have done something differently, obviously because you've more or less moved on from it. If you would have done something differently just to make it more successful, what would you have done? And I don't know what you answered, but you said, I wish I would have launched earlier.
I wish I delayed a year.
Yeah.
I delayed a year. And honestly, if I would have just launched it, because at the end of the day, there was a little malfunction. But when I launched a year later, there's nothing different I did. I just decided, you know what, screw it, launched it.
Exactly.
And it was a whole fucking year that we had wasted because I wanted it perfect.
Exactly. That's exactly how it goes. And what are you going to change on a photo? You know, like it's edited. You're going to change the tone where it's a little more blue. Who cares? Just post it. Just take the picture, do the best you can, learn, post it, move on.
So going back to the event. So we got Live to Grind event coming up, and you're going to be there. And hopefully we'll get some of your good friends, in Hollywood there as guests.
I know.
But for anybody listening, if you're going to be there, for one, we're filming a Live to Grind episode, and then we're going to have a bunch of other cameramen, Herb will be leading everything, but also you're taking the photos.
Yeah.
So people get the photos, and some of you will actually get a photo with Kevin Harrington. But it's going to be a good time. And that was a fun shoot we had with Kevin here, a couple weeks back?
That was fun, yeah. That was
what was
really
your favorite
cool.
part about it? I think it's funny because you talked about Full Sail, and you said Shark Tank, you watch it all the time, and then you showed everybody, I actually get to
that was crazy, man.
take a photo shoot with Kevin.
Yeah, Full Sail in the music program, we have music and entertainment business in both programs. We watch Shark Tank almost every single class. At least one time in the class we watch it, every single class. And so I'm like, oh man, we're shooting with the original shark from Shark Tank. I'm like, this is crazy. And literally the reaction I expected happened. Everyone was like, what? It was so crazy. It was so cool.
It was so cool because we're in his house, and he even said that. I'm like, I got to get you a picture, or we'll put on this in the notes.
Yeah,
you guys
that
together.
Was so
but
cool.
It's cool to see. And you look at all the shoots you've done over the last couple of years. What would be some of the most memorable, either video or photo shoots that you've been a part of?
Probably the most memorable for me was when I shot the band Laney.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite bands that I said I shot. I was shooting for the venue, and I was in there, and they were up there doing their sound check, and it was just so crazy because as they were sound checking, I was the only other person that wasn't part of their crew in that room, and I'm just like, I can't believe this piece of technology, this camera has gotten me. I don't want to say this far because I still have a way to go, but I can't believe it's given me, it really has, but I don't say that because I'm telling you, I'm not anywhere close to where, I'm not done yet,
Yeah.
So that's why I don't say that, but to be sitting there in the room with my favorite band up there sound checking, and I had an all access pretty much to do whatever I wanted, was just so incredible to me. It was just such a cool feeling.
It's cool you say that because this tool, your talent and that resource that you leveraged has got you into rooms. It's got you into the room with Kevin Harrington. It got you in the room with that band.
Yeah.
It's got you the chance where you just submitted for an Emmy.
Yeah.
In
just
December,
for 4.
In December, we will all have the chance. That'd be cool if we all won an Emmy.
We're all gonna have one.
We're all gonna have an Emmy. I'm manifesting it. But no, it's because you leveraged what you had. And for me, I use the knowledge I had about crowdfunding to get opportunities to work with influential people and to make money in my own ways because that was my talent. I used it. Everybody's got to figure out what their talent is.
Right. Definitely.
And use it to their best advantage.
That's exactly it. Yep.
It's like a band member too. What advice do you have? Because I know we've talked about this. We're like, dude, we could do a record label. We know marketing and everything else. What do you think the best advice is for somebody if they really want to make it in this industry? If they want to make it as a singer or musician, guitar player, what do you have to do? Well,
just like everybody, they want to make it. And we mentioned this
some
earlier.
say they want to make it, but then how bad do they want to make it?
Yeah, it's exactly where I was taking this. And we mentioned this earlier. Who makes it? Who actually gets on the radio? It doesn't matter about talent. Stop practicing.
Yeah.
If you can play guitar, get better as you play shows. But that extra time needs to be spent marketing and just doing your business side of it, Because, again, we said this earlier. You could be a terrible musician, but make it because you just play your cards right. The days of playing at a bar and getting picked up are long gone. That's not how it goes. It doesn't happen anymore, So
how would it happen? What exactly would you do?
It's just a matter of networking, Friends hire friends. Everybody knows that. Same thing with the music industry. How do you expect to get hired or signed to Sony if you have never talked to anyone from Sony? If you've never sent an email? If you've never tried to go to a networking event to meet somebody from Sony? They don't know who you are, And if they do know who you are, so what's the point? If I know who Brandon T. Adams is, I know the name, but I don't know the face, I've never talked to him. What value does that bring to me?
Exactly.
Nothing. You need to just network and talk to the people that you want to be talking to. That's it.
Talk to the people. I love this. And it comes down to networking, your network.
Yeah.
I would say too, building your own brand.
Oh, absolutely. No, for sure.
And marketing yourself. I mean, when we went and there was a band where we were filming for Live to Grime, and I'm like, if it was me, I would be Facebook Living this. I would videotape it, take cuts, and put it in Facebook ads. I'd be targeting people that would be the people that can make the decision to get me to that next step.
Exactly, for sure. And just like I said, gone are the days that a music executive picks you up at a bar. Gone are the days that a record label signs an artist to build them. They don't want that. They want someone already with a brand. They want you guys...
And a following.
Exactly. They want you to be pretty much a signed artist that's not signed. Does that make sense?
It's kind of like a turnkey.
Exactly. They want you to be matured already because there are already so many bands doing that.
There's so many people out there that want, hey, can you help me get this? But if you come to them and be like, I have my own following, I have my own like brand built up.
Yeah.
We can make each other money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. No. That's how.
You got to have more going into it, more value in your side of the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Something
absolutely.
that they want.
And like for people who aren't in music, just translate this into your industry because it's literally all the same.
Anything.
You know, if you're trying to sell your product to Walmart, they're not going to take your product if you don't have nice packaging, if you don't have great photos on your Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Relate that to whatever industry you're in because it's all the same.
It's a good one for Walmart. I think because Walmart, it's not so hard so much to get it on the shelf. It's getting off the shelf. And what Walmart wants to know, or any other store, is how can you sell it off my shelf?
Yeah.
It's no like any musician or anything. How can you sell this product?
Yeah.
That's exactly you can have the best product in the world, but if people aren't buying it, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
90% marketing, 10% product. Goes for photography, video, musicians, products, entrepreneurs, everything.
Literally everything.
That's why I love the fact is we're talking music and then I'm talking like entrepreneurship and all of it. It relates so much.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. And what it comes down to, it's so simple. The hard part is literally just doing it. And what I mean by doing it, it's literally 24/7. Like I just told you after our photo shoot, I burnt myself out. Like I did it in an unhealthy way where I was just hustling too hard. But that's how it goes. If you want to make it, you literally have to do it nonstop. I know you, like literally all day.
Live the grind, baby.
Yeah,
Live the grind.
Exactly.
So what other advice on this journey that you went from soccer to going in the music industry, doing engineering of all things? People never saw that.
Yeah.
And now photography and video. Out of all these transitions, what things can you take away that you could share with people to help them in their transition of their career?
Nothing's perfect. You're not perfect. Your product's not perfect. I'm sure whoever's listening to this has told their friend or whoever, oh, no one's perfect. It's going to be okay. That's just how it goes. Like nothing's ever perfect. Nothing's ever ready for release. You just have to do it.
Just do it.
You know, and it's not going to happen overnight because that's the one thing I'm the most guilty of. I expect things to happen instantly. I mean, I don't know why a lot of stuff in my life I've been lucky where things happen right when I want them to. But the big stuff, like, you know, this photography thing, it's working out, but I'm shooting for a big scale. I haven't gotten there yet. And that's discouraging sometimes, but that's how it goes.
But you always, I think we have the same thing. You and I shoot for the stars. Sometimes we're discouraged because we're not patient enough. We want to keep going, but always bettering yourself.
Yeah.
Never saying, okay, I reached it, you know?
Exactly.
Like once you get to your top of what you think you can do, you go to the next one.
You just have to. And you have to understand that it may take longer to get to step 4 than it did step 3. It's not going to happen overnight. You just have to be patient. And when things start to slow down, don't quit. Push harder.
You know, I love that because it's Will Smith that said, you know, it takes 90% like effort. You give it 90% to get to that opportunity, but that last 10% takes 90% more work. I mean, it's that last 10% that most people they slow down and they give up and they don't reach their full potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just keep going. Don't let the money and don't let all the like care, all that stuff. Don't let it get to your head because what happens is they let it get to there and they get lazy.
You have to finish the end. This kind of, I can relate it to soccer. You know, say you started on your end of the field. You got the ball. You dribble through everyone. You get past everyone. Sure, you know, you made it. It's fine. The hard part is when you get to the goal and it's just you and the goalie. The pressure's on. You got to take your time and just do it. Score.
Just do it.
It's the last 10% of the field. It's the hardest part. Scoring is the hardest part. You can dribble around people, but putting the ball in the net is the hardest part.
So I love this interview. The theme I get away is just do it. It's never perfect. Just put it out there and market. Yeah. Market yourself.
Just gotta work, work, but don't do what I did and overwork yourself. Have your
don't
day.
Wear yourself out. We've both done it.
Yeah. But you just gotta work. Stop wasting time. You know?
Like we do on the Live to Grind TV show. We show the grind, but then we show the fun at every show.
Yeah.
Now the fun I want to show at the end of this show is I want to see you play guitar and sing for everybody. Are you gonna do it? You down?
You know what? Since I mentioned the neighborhood, I'll play a neighborhood song.
Let's do it.
All right,
let's do it. Okay, here we go. Here's what song is this?
This is "Pray" by The Neighborhood.
"Pray" by The Neighborhood. This guitar is mine, by the way, and I don't know how to play it yet because I haven't practiced. But let's hear it.
But we're gonna put you on the radio because you have the willpower to do it, and that's all it takes.
Amen to that.
As long as you notice, I'm hoping that you'll keep your heart open. Keep mine open too. If you don't ask, I won't tell. Just know that it all hurts. It all hurts just the same. Something is wrong, I can't explain. Everything changed when the birds came. You never know what they might do if they catch you too early. You need to for yourselves for someone else tells us how. Something is wrong. I feel like praying. As long as you notice, I'm hoping that you'll keep your heart open. Keep mine open too. So I'm gonna take you aside, tell you what's on my mind, but you keep it inside. Probably tell me that you're alright. Something is wrong, I can't explain. Everything changed when the birds came. You never know what they might do if they catch you too early. You need to for yourselves for someone else tells us how. Something is wrong. I feel like praying. So I'm gonna take you aside, tell you what's on my mind, but you keep it inside. Probably tell me that you're alright. So I'm gonna take you aside, tell you what's on my mind, but you keep it inside. Probably tell me that you're alright. I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight.
Yeah, that was awesome. You know what? D-Rock don't got shit on you. Like, man, this is awesome. Like, not only can you shoot photo, videography, but you can play guitar and sing. Like, that was amazing, man.
Thank you.
We could make you big. Like,
I mean, let's do it. I'm telling you, I would still love to.
Deep down inside, he's using his tool, his actual camera, to get in so we make him big. I don't blame you. Let's do it. No, that was awesome. Awesome music. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you for photos, video, or, well, to hire you to play?
Yeah, well, my online alias is Lion the Lion. So just an animal, Lion the Lion. So that's my website, lionthelion.com. Lion the Lion on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, everything.
Well, dude, this has been fun. And for all you listening, you're going to get a chance if you get your tickets for the Live to Grind event. You're actually going to get to meet Herb. Who knows? Maybe we'll pull out the guitar, play the guitar.
Yeah.
But for sure, if you get a VIP ticket, you're going to get your picture taken by Herb. Badass videographer and photographer, and we're actually going to be filming the whole thing for a Live to Grind episode. I'm stoked, and I highly suggest contacting him if you need anything for video or photography. If he's not busy working with me, because we're literally every single week are filming. But you know what time it is, everybody? Beyond just doing it and putting it out and shooting with purpose, and it's all marketing, it is time for you to get out there and create something great and become unforgettable, because life is too short not to. I'm Bernie C. Adams. Have a great day, everyone.